Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I explain the 10th hexagram in I Ching called treading. So in order to understand its meaning, let's connect it to its prior hexagram called small harvest or small accumulation. So once we accumulate enough materials or resources, naturally you might track some risk in life, like people suddenly see your wealth and they get jealous or want to steal from you or whatever. That's why it leads to this treading hexagram, meaning you might be surrounded with danger and risk. That's why the hexagram's explanation vividly says you're stepping on tiger's tail. The whole I Ching, whenever it has reference to tiger, it just implies risk or danger in our life. So this whole hexagram is talking about the wisdom in terms of coping with this risk on our journey and how do we kind of protect ourselves from that exposure. But before I move on to the answer of how do we do that, right? There's a special call out between the 9th and 10th hexagram. So if you turn the 9th hexagram upside down, you will land on the 10th one. So every time you see an upside down trigram, it means their meanings are the opposite from each other. So we know the 9th hexagram is about accumulation, is about preparing yourself. Don't move yet, you're not ready yet. Keep it steady. So the opposite of that is now that I accumulated enough, now I have to take action, I have to move. That's why it's part of the reason for this treading translation. But more importantly, how do I kind of morph from this external material focused number 9th hexagram to this internal emotional and spiritual emphasis, like I have enough wealth built, now I follow this higher tier of this pyramid. How can I build my strong mindset and mental side to make sure I'm fully equipped? So that's another tone of this 10th hexagram's meaning. But moving to the image of this hexagram, we see the external one is the heaven, right? 3 pure yang lines, meaning move, motivation, take initiation. But the inner one is called the lake. The lake represents, like, in the scheme of external environment that forced me to take action, to move, how do I cope with the inside? What is my emotional state? The lake trigram meaning is almost like a kid. It's going with the flow. I follow orders in a very respectful and conformative way. Even though like something bad might happen, like I run around on the street, I fall, I just dust it off, maybe cry a little bit and then move on. I keep on having fun in my life. That's what little kids do. So the lake trigram is similar to that in spirit, meaning that whatever we experience in life, just have a go with the flow attitude. You can't control it. Why would you be bothered by it? And keep on this genuine childlike happiness in yourself. And that's how we can cope with all this potential risk on our journey. And so that's one answer and spirit of this 10th hexagram. And another layer is about knowing your order and placement and follow the rules. Because heaven and lake, one is on top, one is on bottom, they fall to their corresponding appropriate place. It means you're following the right social hierarchy and order. Because the original Chinese name for the 10th hexagram also means shoes. Because in old time, you can clearly tell a person's social class by the type of shoe they wear. If you're in the upper class, it's probably made of very expensive, fancy, like a silk-like material. But if you're on the lower level, some people are so poor they don't have shoes, or they wear shoes made of straw or very rough material. So that also implies you have to respect the laws and order and know your placement in life and don't jump outside of the boundaries. That's how you can avoid and reduce risk on your journey. So that's kind of the explanation for the broader hexagram's meaning. It emphasizes prudence in our action, respect the laws and orders, respect your own place. Don't jump out of place, which will evoke danger on yourself. And when something happens kind of unfavorably, have a long horizon viewpoint and don't get sucked into the negative impact, right? Just say, hey, it's natural, it's part of my life journey, and I know this is just a point in time for a long time horizon. And that's the wisdom behind it. But moving to the individual lines, the first one is a yang line, but he knows my position is fairly low, so smart enough to follow the spirit of this treading hexagram, meaning I know my place. I know it's not my time yet. So rather than putting on a lot of like fake makeup or decoration or pretension, trying to be somebody who I'm not to be, the right thing to do is show my true color, respect who I am, and just do it steadily. Keep on doing what you've been doing and waiting for the right time to come. If you have this type of a calm and patient attitude, you should be able to prevent trouble. Moving on to the second line, this is a line in the middle, meaning that I have the competence. I know my place. I'm gaining enough experience to do something, but I also know that I'm kind of in the overall, the whole hexagram, I'm in the lower stage. So rather than trying to fight or to show off my talent, I emphasize the inside, not the outside. I don't care about external fame or fortune. I care about my own inner value. Because of this, my inner value is not easily influenced or controlled by external factors. I'm able to stay in this zen and calm mindset. And that's a really kind of calm and philosophical way to live through the life journey. So you're kind of like, you don't follow the external roller coaster of whatever happens. You keep yourself steady because of the internal focused value. So that's the meaning of the second one. It's like, it's more emphasis on introversion, just go with the flow versus trying excessively hard to achieve something. Just, you don't need to do that. The third line is the only yin line in the whole hexagram, because positionally it's in this unsteady spot, in the transitional phase from the inside triagram to the outside triagram. So it has a bad connotation to it. It means the line description is super vivid. It says, the eyes cannot see clearly, I might be blind, and my legs are bad, I'm limping all over the place. I can't even work far. But because of my overconfidence, I ignore my inability to do something and I still move forward. This will definitely lead to disaster and big danger for yourself. So this is a bad one. If somebody lands on this as a result, my only advice is do the opposite of what it says. Actually follow the whole spirit of the hexagram, meaning be cautious, be patient, be prudent, and calculate your risk and watch your environment before being hasty. If you're able to control this default human emotion and urge, and pull yourself back a little bit, you should be able to reduce the risk level. That's kind of the wisdom of I Ching. So even though it lands on a bad or very unfortunate or not favorable result, you try to do the opposite. You follow the guidance and wisdom of it. That's how we can reduce our risk exposure in real life. Moving to the fourth one. This one, it's so close to this fifth one. This is the guy in charge. This is kind of the king. I'm so close to him. I'm not able to take this retrieved, kind of down to earth approach of non-behavior, of non-doing, like the first and second one. Because of my position, I'm so close to the tiger, right, to the king, that I have to be super careful. As long as you can take this extra caution in life, think before you talk, right? Try to not evoke danger for yourself. You should be able to protect yourself and come out whole without any harm. So that's the fourth line. Is really emphasizing caution because positionally you're placed with this danger or this guy in ultimate authority. And if you do something wrong, he gets mad and you might take on the bad consequence. And the fifth line is the guy in power is the king. Is he's capable of making really quick and clear decisions, very decisive, super confident. That's a positive of it. And because he's in the right social order to have that type of behavior, that's why this line's result is not bad. But it has a hidden danger to it. The hidden danger is if you continuously doing this type of almost like a dictator style. I'm so confident in my own ability to make the call. I don't want to listen to other people. It has this caution to say, don't do it all the time. Sometimes it calls for that style in a death and dare situation. That's fine. But you also need to understand, put yourself back in this balanced zone. How do you become a more inclusive leader and blend this inclusivity with this decisiveness? That's what's gonna make you like the perfect guy in charge. But this one is leaning towards too much of that decisiveness and firmness side, but not enough that if you keep on being so rigid, that might give you potential danger. So that's a kind of a secondary layer call out. Last but not least, this is actually a very rare case. Most of the time, the top line is the ending stage of something, right? So it also has like a risk and reward type of blend in there. But this is one of the few exceptions that the end result is the ultimate positivity, is great fortune. So why is that? This awesome if you land on this line as your primary result. But what's the why for this wonderful, perfect result? It's first because even though I'm able to achieve after going on this risky journey, right? I'm able to reach the end, but I still have this humility about me. Not only am I able to self-reflect on what happened, looking back on your journey, what are the good and bad, what can I learn from it, keep the good and refine on the bad to make myself better for the future. So it's that self-reflection, but more importantly is this consistency. So think about it. You finally climb from the low social order up to maybe somebody with strong power, but are you able to treat everybody the same? Now saying that with the change of your own power, you adapt a different attitude to people around you. But are you able to follow the same humbleness, the beginner attitude to treat everybody with respect and true sincerity? If you're able to have that consistent mind and honor to other people, that's what leads you to this great fortune result. So it's a reminder that on our journey, it's like a never-ending thing. You're gonna move to the next phase. How do you build on your prior success? Not only self-reflect, but also have this your inner value system of who you are never be waived by whatever accomplishment you've gained in life. You always keep that core humility and respectful nature about you. That's how you can ensure sustainable safety and sustainable long-term success. So that's the meaning of the 10th hexagram trading. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.